Okay, so floats are a fantastic way to lay out items on your website, but they do come with a few little quirks that you need to be aware of, and I just want to go over one now. So that I've floated this logo to the left and put some text beside it. And for argument's sake, what we're going to want to do in this case is to sit a containing div around all of this contents so that we have, say, a red background. We have a big square that comes all the way down around this section here with a red background with the floated image and the text inside it. So logic would tell us the best way to do this is going to be to put a div around both of these elements. So a div that surrounds our float me div with our logo and the text that we have. So we'll go ahead and do that now. And I'll just call it red box, give an idea of red box, and then close our div down here, and once again remembering to indent our code. So by indenting this in, I can quickly see that these two divs belong together because they're in the same line, and these two divs belong together. Okay, so we've got our red box div surrounding everything. And when I go and apply a style to this, I'll say red box as a background color of red. You can see the problem here that although the div essentially in our code surrounds both the logo and the text, the div has not stretched down to cater for the height of this image here, and we wanted this red to go all the way down and around. So one obvious solution for that is to give our red box a height. So we could say give this a height of try 350 pixels. Not too far, but you get the idea. That by giving this a height we can control the size of the surrounding div. But there's times when you don't really want to specify a height for something because you want the height to be determined by the content. By way of explanation, if we look at this side here, we know that in my header all of this stuff has a fixed height. On every page of my website, if I go to the main page, this stays the same. It's always the same, everything is the same height, so there's no harm in applying height definitions to what we see here. But if we look through different pages, you'll see that the contents down here, the height of different elements in our contents is always going to change. So here we have a very long page, for instance. So if we give a CSS definition for a height and then we have a different element somewhere else on our page that's a lot taller, we can run into problems. So we don't really want to use a height. So when you come across this problem yourself, there are different workarounds for it, but one of the most common ones, and a good one to use as a beginner, is to actually put a div at the end of your content that you want to sit. Everything that sits inside your main container div that you need to stretch. Just put a div in there and give it a style, inline style, and the style is clear both, which will clear the left and right side of this div, causing everything else to wrap around it, as you'll see if I close the div now. And that's the solution there. So div style equals clear both will give you that effect. When you come to work on the body of your website, it's likely that you're going to run into that problem where you're trying to create a background color or a background image, depending which way you go, but it's not stretching to cater for your floated elements. So if you come across that, that's the solution there.